made it out to my spot, and on the way here, I got pretty well soaked. It rained last night, and all of this vegetation grew up quite a bit since the last time I was here. So I'm pretty soaking wet, but it's alright. I also found a really nice velvet 6-point on the way out here. It's really unfortunate. It looks like something ate it. Someone may have shot it and injured it, but I didn't really take a look at it. It was starting to rot, but not too bad. It was smelling a little bit. So it's really disappointing that a nice deer died from this area. But we've got probably about 20 minutes till shooting light. I got out here a little bit later than I wanted to, but I'm gonna go ahead and set up and just sit out here for a little bit. Alright, we're all set up. I've got a good view to where I think the deer would come from. This isn't the greatest setup for a morning hunt for a few reasons. Actually, today is pretty bad. The wind when I was walking in was not in my favor. Plus, I had to walk through all of the feeding area, which is where they would be coming from. My back is to the bedding area, so they'd be coming towards me, which is not great for a good shot. The wind was also coming out of the north, so from the bedding area to the feeding area, so exactly the opposite. Pretty much nothing is in my favor right now, but I just wanted to come out and sit here and see if anything happens. Maybe I get lucky and see something, but not feeling too hopeful. I tried to make as little noise as possible when I came out here, but I was pretty loud. Okay, so I did see 2 deer just now. This is only about 3 minutes after that last clip. They just ran across in the forest over there. And one was a good doe, one was more of a year-old fawn. Pretty small spot still, but it went all the way across. I stood up to adjust my clothes, and they saw me, probably smelled me, and they looked at me, and then they ran off. They crossed this little drainage down that way, about 100 yards or so. So that's good to know, that they do travel through there, across there, just in that tree line. Unfortunately, though, it's about 50 yards across. I can't make that shot. I'm only comfortable at 30, so if something does go past, I wouldn't be able to shoot it. But it's encouraging. I saw a deer. There's a good chance that my ears are just playing tricks on me, because I really think that I heard something over there. But the problem is, there's like a construction site to my back, and I think, and a lot of what's behind me is really flat. You might have been able to hear a crash just now. Some of that might be echoing off this way, but it really sounded like something breaking through the brush. I don't really have any other activity so far as the sun's come up, but it's just beautiful, and I'm starting to get a better idea of my system here, so I'm gonna keep sitting out here for a few more hours and see if anything walks around here again. And if not, I have a really good idea of where I'll set up next time I'm here. I don't think that I'll set up right here again. I think that I want to set up across the way. Yes, deer were over there when I got here. I know I don't need to just chase them, but I think that the cover is going to be better there, and I'm going to have better shots. The visibility for what I can see right here is great, but I don't have the opportunity to create a lot of shots because I think they're just going to be a little too far away. So I think I'll go over there next time, which is valuable information. It's just that alone is worth coming out here this morning. But this is just gorgeous. I haven't been out here this early before, and just as everything kind of wakes up, it's just beautiful. There is since we had a lot of rain last night, all of the trees are still dripping, and so it's kind of messing with me with what I'm hearing, because there's just a lot of tap, tap, tap on leaves around me. So also there seems to be quite a few extra down trees. Right where I walked in, there was a tree down in the little pathway that I took to get in, and there's a tree right behind the camera that was not down when I got here, when I scouted last week. So that's kind of changed things up a little bit, but not too bad. The deer about an hour ago that walked through, I don't know where they came from. I don't think they came from where I came from to get over here, and it seemed like that was one of the only ways to get over here, because there's a little bit of a steep ridge between here and the ag plots. So I'll be interested to go over there and look for some tracks and look for how they got over here, because there might be a saddle over there that I don't know about. I think I heard something traipsing through the woods over there. 100% could just be my imagination or a squirrel. At this point, I think all the deer have probably bed down. I haven't seen anything else, and I've been looking at Onyx, and I see a couple spots that I want to check out, and I'm really itching to get up and go check them out, but I think that I need to sit here for another 45 minutes to an hour just to make sure nothing else comes cruising through. I'm really excited to find a couple other spots I might try later on in the season, because I mean, this is okay, but I think there's better options out there for sure. It also turns out that the wind was perfectly fine, other than while I was walking out. Ever since I've been sitting here, I've been periodically checking, and it's been totally fine. Is there a chance that a stray breeze blew my scent? Maybe, but I think with a mixture of the thermals going that way, the wind going that way, and neither are probably very strong, it might cancel out a little bit, but primarily the wind hasn't been strong. There's a ridge that way, so I think things coming this way wouldn't really get a full whiff of me. So, pretty decent spot, but we're gonna go check some more out here in a bit. Overall, this was a great sit. I saw 2 deer alive, 1 dead deer, which I will go back and check on here in a bit, see if there's any obvious wounds. But I'm gonna do some walking around and then head out. All right, I think I was able to find a really good spot. So I was sitting over there on that side of this clearing.
kind of back in those bushes right over there. And I think the path that the deer took was from a saddle over here. So I found this really big tree right here, and there's all of this brush in front of it that I kind of repositioned a lot of to kind of make a little bit of a natural blind just right here. And then 20 yards that way is the path that I've seen a lot of deer take. And the great thing about this is, you know, I can see to this side over here, to that edge where there's a lot of tracks. So if anything except deer across the clearing come through here, in theory I should be able to get a shot. I know I'm kind of in the middle, which is probably not advisable. The only other better option, which isn't even that good in my opinion, is to get up on one of these ridge lines, looking down into this sort of wash right here. But with that, I feel like I have very limited shot selection. So this kind of just maximizes my opportunities, I feel like. So I think next time I come here, I'll sit here.
Idea if this is a better spot. It's just different. I think I'm a little bit more concealed. The last time I was facing south in the morning, and the deer would have been coming right at me. The wind was alright. Right now, the deer will be coming from my right, going left, going this way. And I think there might be a path right here that they take. At the very least, I know that there's a path right in front of me and then two paths on either side of me. One problem is there's a lot of paths about 80 yards that way. But I think I might not have a good shot at a deer today. It is really, really hot. I don't think it's going to get cool enough for them to really want to get up and move. But I think I have better visibility right here to kind of see where things move around at, even if I don't see anything worth shooting at, like close enough. I have really, really good visibility here, so I can kind of figure out where they might be moving. Luckily, no one else was here, but I did see a stand at a pretty good spot. I wouldn't have sat there, but it was a pretty good spot. A tree climber, which you're not supposed to leave here, so maybe they came out this morning and left it, and then are coming back tonight. I think that's fair game. But no one was here when I got here, and we've got about an hour till sunset. I wanted to get here about an hour and a half before sunset, but the quickest I could be was an hour. So obviously I have a tree to my back. It's a big tree behind me, and the weather channel and like the windy app forecasted the wind coming from my back, east to west, so kind of a crosswind from where the deer would be. But I'm just gonna check that. Pretty stagnant. It's actually going the opposite direction, if anything. So that kind of indicates to me some thermal movement, because there's going to be a pretty wide temperature swing tonight. This time of year, it goes from about 90 in the daytime to about 65, 60, sometimes under 60 degrees. So there's quite a bit of a temperature difference. So any powder that you see, it's kind of just swirling right here a little bit. Yeah, it's not really doing anything. There's no wind right now, so any movement would be thermals. Just warm air cooling down and moving. So I'll just check back in if anything happens. But this will be my first evening hunt of the season. Second hunt ever by myself. one thing you want to do whenever you're all set up and you're sitting, get an arrow knocked, and then I'm just going to test draw where I think the deer will be, because I want to make sure that I can comfortably draw, which from this position is going to be kind of hard. But I have a different chair that I ordered off Amazon, like a $30 chair that'll sit just a touch higher, which I think will be more comfortable for me. And also this chair is blue and it's really loud, so kind of worst case scenario. But it's all I've got right now. So I just figured out that I should probably kind of move myself a little bit to just get in a little bit of a better shooting position. And I've got a little bit of brush in front of me that I'm going to flatten just a little bit to get a better shooting angle. So I'm not shooting through the sticks. And then I'm just going to use my rangefinder to see where 20 and 30 yards is, because that's 30 yards is the maximum I would feel comfortable ethically shooting at a deer. So I've got about 20 yards and 30 yards marked out. I know that there's a big tree down there that's 30, and another limb that's 20. So I'm just gonna hurry up and wait. So the reason I'm out here right now, about an hour before sunset, and why my first session was about an hour before sunrise, is because deer are what's called crepuscular. That just means they're most active around dawn and dusk. So you have animals like bobcats and coyotes, and sometimes other animals like armadillos, raccoons, things like that are nocturnal, or humans who are active during the day is diurnal. Nocturnal is at night. Diurnal is active during the day, and crepuscular means they're most active around sunset and sunrise, which for right now, which is pre-rut, way before even what we would call pre-rut, deer are going to be moving from their beds during the day to eating at night. Early in the night, deer get really stressed out in extreme heat, like during the summer and early archery season. So they'll sleep during the day and kind of hunker down, and then move out when they feel safer, which is around 7 o'clock right now during this time of year. 7 at night, and about 6 in the morning. Now, during the rut, which is kind of like breeding season, when the males are ready to breed the females, it's completely different, and you'll want to subscribe, because I'll post a video when I start hunting during the rut, because I'm going to be doing that. So don't forget to hit the subscribe button and like this video, because that lets me know you want to see me hunt during the rut. Also, don't forget to check out my scouting video where I found these spots. I'll leave a link in the description, as well as a card up above. I don't think my microphone's gonna pick it up, but there's a train and a police siren now that is right over there, which is where the deer are bedding, or where I think they're bedding. So I'll be interested to see if anything comes moving around out here in the next couple minutes, or if they just don't care. Sounds like New York City over there. Goodness. I know that I'm moving around a lot and that I'm pretty twitchy. That's just something I'm going to have to work on, but it's not a good thing, because although deer are not as good at seeing color as humans, like like I mentioned before in my scouting video and earlier in this video, they're really, really good at detecting motion with their eyes. They're far better than humans at seeing motion, and unfortunately, I'm right at eye level with them. It's exactly where they would be looking for a predator. It's not ideal. I just can't afford climbing sticks or a tree stand right now. Got about 45 minutes left before shooting light is out. So, something needs to happen. I haven't seen anything, not a single thing, and the wind is still good, so there's not a very good chance that anything smelled me. Alright, the sun has set. I've only got 30 more minutes before I've got to get out of here. So, it's crunch time. I think I did a lot better at getting into this spot stealthy today. I had great wind. I had great thermals. I really like this spot right here. It would be better if I had a blind, obviously. But it's not too bad. I'd love a climber, but just can't do that. There's a tree right over here that I would love to climb, but can't really do that right now. So I think for this specific spot, I would come back right here. And I'm excited to go look at some other public properties, as well as potentially one private property spot that I'm allowed to hunt on. So there's a lot of great things coming your way. So don't forget to subscribe and check out the linked videos, because I've got a lot of other great stuff going on. I don't just hunt, I do a lot of fishing as well. So if you like anything in the outdoors, I'm probably doing it. And if you're a beginner like me, this channel is a great resource for seeing that it's okay to come out and try things for the first time and be a beginner and be bad at it and still enjoy hunting, fishing, hiking, camping, just all sorts of fun outdoor things. You don't have to already know how to do everything perfectly. You don't have to have grown up doing all these things to still enjoy it. And hopefully I'm going to show you that it's possible to still be effective at doing those things. So go ahead and subscribe and tune in every Friday night for a new video. Well, alright, I think it's time to call it. We're just about out of shooting light. I haven't seen or heard anything. But that's alright. I know this is a good spot. I know that deer come through here. Just not tonight. Might still be a little early yet, because it's just so ridiculously hot. Still, the end of September. So I think they're still probably bedded down, and they might be a little jittery from the weekend. Just a couple days ago. Probably pretty heavy weekend for pressure. I know this spot gets hit hard during the weekend. So I'm gonna go ahead and back up and try to slip out of here.